Alright, one battle after another. So, One Battle After Another is a new Paul Thomas Anderson film, and it centers around the character of Bob, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. So this character is washed ex-revolutionary, and now he gets back into the danger because his daughter is targeted by a ruthless military general named General Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn. And I did not watch any trailers for this, alright? So I went into this film blind, not knowing what it's about. Yeah, this film tackles a lot of heavy subject matter, including immigration, military, and all the current stuff that is happening in our world right now. But what I like about it is that the movie handles this heavy subject matter with a little bit of a percise comedy. Now, what I mean by that is that you see the character of Bob here is washed. He's too far gone. He's just a drug addict and an alcoholic. So there's a little bit of something going on with his brain, and that really makes him forget a lot of stuff, including names, codes, and everything. All the important things that he used to remember, he now forgot. Now, the comedic factor, even though it is precise, it plays into that logic. So, in that regard, the performance from Leonardo DiCaprio is always amazing, right? He's an amazing actor. And what I like about this character in particular is that he does something unique with the comedy here. The comedy moments are precise and it just hits you right on the spot. For example, there is a scene later in the film where somebody asks Bob who he is, and he just simply replies, "Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Peter Parker, and I'm somebody else." There's a little bit of a tiny moments like that that really balances the heavy subject matter stuff and also injecting a little bit of a comedy. Alright? That being said, this is still a heavy film, and it's not my cup of tea either. For the first 30 minutes of the film, I was not intrigued at all. I was just planning to leave this film and not review it for you guys. But, the film was searching for its momentum. And when it gets into a very particular scene, I'll give you a hint. Where Leonardo DiCaprio's character starts doing parkour on the rooftops, and there's piano cues playing on the background. From that scene on until the end of the movie doesn't have any breaks. It's just flat out intense from there. And when you get into that moment, when you get into that particular scene, you will feel it. It was entertaining in its own right, and not in the way that you expect. If you saw the trailers, well, after I saw the movie, I went back and saw some of the trailers. And the trailers marketed this film a bit of a chaotic mess action film. And yeah, when you go see the movie, it is chaotic. But from the context of the movie, it all makes sense. It needs time to make sense, but when it does, it does. Now, what about the antagonist here? General Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn. He is psychotic. Alright, that is his character, and Sean Penn really plays this character, really psychotic, even down to how he walks, how he talks. From seeing him on screen, there is something off about this character that this film doesn't tell you right away. So, yeah, I can see that Sean Penn could potentially get an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor here, I don't know if he will win, but at least he will get that nomination, because in this film he is terrific. You know, Sean Penn doesn't show up in a lot of movies these days, but when he does, he chooses his projects carefully, and his performance in this film is amazing. It is menacing, thrilling, and just seeing his expression, there's something in his head that is very much off, that is really dangerous. This person is dangerous because he is a lunatic. There are a couple of actions that he does throughout this film that will make you go, oh shit, he is very, very ruthless, and you will get that. Alright? There's also this blind spot of his character, the spot where you don't know everything about him. You know, there's a gray area in his character, and that is what makes him intriguing as a villain. Alright? Another positive thing here is a lot of movies these days uses a lot of CGI for simple shots, but this film uses little to no CGI. Everything here is practical. Even the car chase at the end of the movie is so practical. There's no CGI here, and it is refreshing to watch. Also, the movie just looks so natural, so real, and I think that is Paul Thomas Anderson's way to, you know, to present this movie. It is raw, it is real, and you know, that is the movie that you're watching. There is one character named Sensei, played by Benicio del Toro. He's not in this film for long, but when he does, he is so comedic, alright? His comedic timing is so on point, and yes, his jokes are slapstick. And you know, this is the type of character that you need in a movie like this to balance out the heavy subject matter, the controversies, and all the overall heavy plot. You need this character to lighten things up. And when Benicio del Toro shows up on screen, he does his job. On the other side though, I really do understand why people, you know, maybe turn off on this film, because it handles a lot of heavy subject matter, heavy political stuff, and maybe people don't want to get into it. I understand that, you know. People just want to watch movies to have fun, but trust me, at least you have to watch this film at least once and tell me what you think. What is the best Leonardo DiCaprio movie according to you? But to wrap things up, I will give One Battle After Another an 8 out of 10. This is a well-made film that balances heavy subject matter stuff with thrilling performances from Leonardo DiCaprio, and particularly, specifically, Sean Penn as the antagonist. He is very, very menacing in this one. And yeah, I do understand why this film failed though at the box office, because I went back and watched the trailers for the movie, and I realized something. The trailers mismarketed the movie. If you have seen One Battle After Another, tell me everything. Drop it in the comment section down below. What is the best Leonardo DiCaprio role according to you? Drop it everything in the comment section down below, and see you on the next video.